right away. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Ari. I am a Chevening alumnus from Suleimania in Iraq. My Chevening journey started in 2018, and in this session, Hameed Shahoi is joining me from the Hook, a Chevening alumnus from the year of 2019. Salah Essa, a current Chevening scholar from London. We have Sawen from Cardiff, Wales, and we have Huda Sattar, also a Chevening scholar. So this session will be provided as always as a voluntary activity by the Chevening alumnus and scholars in order to help the current Chevening applicants to advance their Chevening application. There are a few disclaimers that we would like to let you know and help you be aware of. That first, this session is unofficial, so whatever we say is our personal opinion, is from our personal experiences. The second thing is that there will be room for questions, so if you can note down your question, and we will give you the opportunity to ask at the end of the session. So we have divided this session into multiple stages. Each Chevening scholar or alumnus will be presenting some sort of topics and content. So starting from the second slide. Salah.
Just 1 second, Ari. I'm just trying to send the email for Huda. Sorry, for Huda. She doesn't have the link yet. Could you just pursue on presenting the second slide while I come back?
Can you just move to the next slide, please?
Ah, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Is that? Yeah. Facts.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
guys, at this stage, we would like to tell you that congratulations, big congratulations on your achievement. So now you are amongst the top 80 or top 90 applicants who have been shortlisted for interview, and this is by itself is really achievement that you should be proud of yourself. That being said, if you, not all of you will win the scholarship. This is actually logic, because there are limited room for Iraq each year. So perhaps there will be 20 or 25 until up to 30, depending on funds availability, who would be winning the grant and pursue their masters in the UK. But if you don't make it for the if you don't win this grant this year, then you have more potential in winning it next year. So still, chill out. You have more potential than the rest of the candidates who were not shortlisted for the interview. The second thing is that from now until the day of the interview, which are early March or April, you have enough time to prepare yourself and get ready for the interview. So you have a sufficient amount of time. Third thing is that you are preparing for an interview. This is not an exam. So relax. You can do good. The other issue or the other point is the Chevening interview is not 100% competency-based interview. So if you are familiar with the term competency-based interview, this is normally the case for most of the job opportunities. In the job interviews, the panel will design their question in the sense that they will come up with a question that puts you in a challenging situation, and they will see, they will measure your competency and skills during your answer. In Chevening, this is not the case. There might be some competency-based questions, but the majority of the questions are straightforward, and they are just tell me or describe or how question these sort of things. So it's really not a very challenging interview for you. You can go to the interview, do good, and hopefully you can win the grant if you prepare yourself in a good way. The third slide. Okay, so now at the preparation phase, there are certain...
Hello.
Hello, Huda. We can hear you. Thank you for
joining
the session. Yeah, I can hear you. We are already online.
Okay.
Ari is already on the move to prepare the third session. Sorry, Ari, for interrupting.
No problem. Welcome, welcome, Huda. All right. So at this preparation phase, you need to be aware that you need to do a lot of efforts on. Can Salah mute the unmuted participants, please?
All right, I'm muting them
right.
one by one. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sure.
So at this stage, you need to pay attention to the preparation. You need to invest a lot of time and effort in preparing yourself for the interview. Also, we said that it's not very challenging interview, but still, it's a life-changing interview. You are now at the crossroad, and you need to prepare yourself in the way that you can do good in this interview, and hopefully you can win the grant. So there are a few elements that you need to be aware of. The previous one.
Okay, the previous slide. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
So at the preparation stage, you should first know yourself better. For example, whether it was an academic or a job interview or whatever kind of visa application, and assess your abilities during these sorts of interviews. This will help you to know yourself and how will you perform if you're given this opportunity of achieving the interview. Next point is that you need to brainstorm the ideas and the situation or the events or the examples that you have already mentioned in your achieving application. And this is really important because majority of the question, and as my fellow colleagues will now present, majority of the question will be related to your achieving application, the 4 essays that you wrote. So you need to know what are the areas that you have targeted. For example, in Denise working essay, if you have provided an example, you need to brainstorm further that example and study it carefully. And that will lead us to the third one, which is expect all relevant questions. When you are brainstorming your application, your overall application, your overall goal for achieving, you need to expect all types of relevant questions. And now we are saying relevant questions because they will be related to your application to achieving. For example, some question could be related to your career plan. Some of them might be related to networking, leadership, or the other essays. So when you are doing the brainstorming of your Chevening application, when you are reading your own Chevening essays, you need to think as a reader. Consider yourself as a Chevening reader panel, and you are reading some application from this guy from Iraq, and come up with the questions for yourself. This will help a lot in expecting the nature of the question that they will ask. If you think this way, you would come up with better answers for yourself. Now, with preparing these question and answers in your mind, you need also to time yourself. Normally, in any kind of interview, the standard answer for the question is about 1 to 2 minutes. Normally, it's 1 minute. 1 minute is sufficient for giving a complete answer. And when you are doing this, when you are timing yourself with the answer, make sure that you are using concise, clear language that would give the full information in a very simple, straightforward way that would make you to stand out. The next slide, Salah.
Yes, please.
Now, with all this preparation, let's move to the interview. On the interview day, at the interview moment, there are certain things that you need to be aware of and you need to carefully consider. The first one is that you need to be yourself. There are many people, and during the interview, they change their their attitude or behavior. For example, if they used to be a very smiley person, they act to be more serious, or vice versa. You do not need to do this. All you need to do is to be yourself, the same persons that you have always been. You need to be confident. Pay attention, not extra confident that you may be considered as overconfident person. And then the demeanor, the appearance really matters. So I don't think this is a big deal here because we are all from an sort of conservative society and we respect this sort of interviews. So we expect that the applicants, when they go to Chevening interview, they would dress appropriately in a smart, casual way. No need for a full suits or a full formal dressing code. So smart, casual will do. Appearance really matters. As for the communication with the panel that will be interviewing you, you need also to note that you should not dominate the interview. You are the person who is giving answers to their questions. This is the opportunity for the panel to know you better, so you need to give them concise answers. Do not be talkative, because one of the feedback that panel members normally share when evaluating an interviewee performance is that they indicate the interviewee was talkative. By talkative, we mean that a person who speaks a lot and we don't give the chance for the panel for a follow-up question or whatever. So make your answers relevant and pay attention to this point. Don't be talkative. The last but not least, during the interview, whenever you are answering any question, any type of question, always link your answer to Chevening's goal, because your goal from applying to Chevening, from studying in the UK, is that you would want to align the Chevening's priorities and the aim behind Chevening Scholarship to the one that you will pursue. This is all from my side at this stage. I will leave the floor now to Hameed to present some examples of the common asked questions by Chevening. So over to you, Hameed.
Thank you, Kakari. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Hameed.
Hi. I'm a Chevening alumni for last year. In this slide, so Kakari mentioned some important points to prepare for the interview. So when you go in the interview, the first impression is very important. Try to make, it's like all other interviews, like consider it as a work interview. Don't consider it like it's life-changing interview. Just be yourself and try to make the first impression good. So when the first thing they will ask you to talk about yourself. So take from 1 to 2 minutes. Tell your name and your profession, just like the work interview, and make sure that you have eye contact with the guys in front of you, the interviewers. And the important thing is that don't be very shy or like don't take it very seriously. Just be yourself. Consider it like something you are telling a story to someone. Just consider it like that, and I'm sure it will be very good. If you take it very seriously, then you may have some problems during the interview. I don't know if the next slide is for me, Salah, or.
Thank you, Kak Hameed. The next slide is for me, and which I'm going to present. The question is, why Chevening? Sometimes the panelists in the Chevening Scholarship during your interview are going to ask you why Chevening. So why did you choose the Chevening Scholarship? And in this regard, you will have to show them the background of your career objective. So during writing your career plans, essay, the essay of the career plans, during that you will have you don't write just hopes or dreams. Instead, you will have to write a clear, specific, concise, precise plans, and more importantly, applicable plans in order to show them that your plans are really applicable in the context that you are working on and the field of specializations. So you will, during answering this question, you will give them background of your career objectives and the main issues that you aim to tackle or to handle during your study in the UK. What kind of support will the UK provide to you within your field of specialization? what do you expect from chevening to do in this regard, and also as I said earlier, be specific, be concise, be precise on your plans. Do not tell them hopes or dreams. Do not use the verb I hope or I dream. Instead, there are specific verbs to be used during the interview, like I intend, or this plan is applicable in this context, 1, 2, 3, etc. And you'll also tell them about how are you going to build your network in via Chevening Scholarship. How is that applicable? And whether you find any, if you face any issues within while building your network within Chevening or with other scholars, how will you tackle these difficulties or issues? How will you overcome them? And also, very important thing is that to show them that there is a difference between Chevening as a scholarship and the other scholarships, and what made you select Chevening over other scholarships. Apparently, you are going to Chevening not only to study, but also to develop your leadership and networking skills and how to benefit your country in the future. This is all what I have got for this slide, and I will let the slide 7 to Ms. Sawen to present. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Salah. So just ensure me at the beginning if I look good, not
good.
And
look
if
good.
my voice is good as well. Okay.
Your voice is well heard.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Kagari. Just mentioned about me briefly. So I'm studying clinical psychology now, master's degree in clinical psychology, and apparently me and Salah are currently in the UK. So congratulations for all of you being accepted, because it's a very important thing. It's a life-changing experience, so it's definitely worth trying for it. So yeah, as the questions, I usually say the questions they would ask you is somehow the same questions, but they are expecting different answers from you. The questions are majority of them are related to the essays you wrote, and you applied. When you applied at the beginning, you wrote 4 essays, and usually the questions are about these. I will just switch they sorted. I will talk about leadership at the beginning, and then I'll go to networking. So as you know, the first essay that you had and you had to write about was leadership, and apparently they will ask you questions regarding and related to leadership again during your interview. So Salah, I'm a bit talkative, so just ensure me when
that's fine. That's fine. You can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Sometimes they will, like at the beginning, they will ask you questions regarding, leadership. So usually they say, define leadership and what leadership means to you. So you will define it on your own words and like somehow related to your own personal values. And you will give them examples to, it's like the examples are evidences that you demonstrated this definition throughout your life and your experiences that you already had. So when you talk about, like, for instance, say leadership means making change in people's life, and then you say that when I had experiences when I was like, they don't necessarily, when they say leadership, they don't necessarily mean that you were in a very important position. No, even if it's a very small position, even if it's it being in a leadership position in your previous experiences with 2-3 people, but you demonstrated this definition that you say, and it's related to your personal values, in case you are a leader, how a leader should behave, and how you demonstrated this in your experiences, and you talk about your experiences. They usually have follow-up questions, and that's why people like when you apply for Chevening, you don't necessarily need to provide evidences of your workplace, but they usually ask very specific follow-up questions related, like based on your answers. For instance, you say leadership means this for me, and I had this experience, and then they make up follow-up questions based on the answer you already provided. And they like if we just skip to networking, like a good leader cannot be a good leader without having very good networking skills. So they will definitely ask you questions about your ability to create like relationships with people, and particularly academic relationships, and how you are able to maintain these relationships with people. For instance, they say, okay, define what is networking means to you, and then you say networking means this and that, And when I was working in this organization, for instance, I had the chance to meet these people, and I did this and that. So you demonstrate what leadership, what networking means to you, and how you as a leader use your networking skills to contact with people and people in different fields, and use them, and you will be useful for them too in return, to build this academic and maintain this academic relationship. When we are talking about questions regarding studying in the UK, the majority of the questions is about your course. So they usually expect you to research already very well about your courses, and why do you want to have these modules, and why you chose these particular courses, and why you sorted them in this particular way, why this university is your first choice and the other is the second and the other is the third choice, and how the courses and the modules these universities provide can help you learn and can help you achieve your goals, which will be the next questions regarding the career plans. You say during your essays in the career plans, when you were writing your essays, you say, I had this and this dreams and goals to achieve when I come back to my university, to my home country. So you basically, during your interview, you tell them that you were a leader through the way you define it and your experiences, and you say that you have a good networking skills, and then you define it, and then you give examples as evidences, and then you talk about the things that you will learn when you will travel to the UK, and when you will be accepted and when you will be studying your master's in a particular course in a particular university. And then you say, I will learn this and that because I found a gap in me and in my place, and I want to fill this gap, so I should go there and I should learn from these courses, and I should expand my knowledge in this case, in this field, and then I should go back to my country. And then they might ask you about your plans. Like I always say, don't afraid to dream, but when you dream, it should be flexible. So your dreams should be flexible, should be real. It should be something that 18% at least you are able to do it after gaining these experiences in the UK. That's why the essays are really, really important, because everything in the next steps will be based on the essays and the way you wrote your essays and the way you overlapped these informations. The follow-up questions are really, really should be specific, like the answers for follow-up questions, because they will ask you based on your answers, and you should be so specific to demonstrate and to tell them that you were the one who wrote these essays, and you were the one who have these dreams and who had these experiences, and who researched very well and know what they should do in their next steps. So I'm so sorry if I took more than my time, and hopefully after at the end of this session we can talk more. And if Huda is ready. Huda, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Thank you very much, Sawen.
Thank you all for inviting me here today. I'm really happy to participate. Sorry, I'm out somewhere, so I cannot switch on the camera. But can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll introduce myself first. I'm Huda. My full name is Huda Sattar Al-Khafaji. I'm a medical doctor. I applied with Salah at Chevening, and I got accepted, and everything was done, but unfortunately I postponed it for this year because of COVID. I was working in emergency, so it's difficult for me now. They need me at my place, so they accepted to defer my application. Hopefully I will be going to UK this year, and from my side I will share with you my experience, reflecting back to what my colleagues mentioned, that networking and leadership, they are the very most important two things that you can have as a skill as a Chevening applicant, or then you will be as a Chevening scholar. So they choose participants based on their networking skills and their leadership, reflecting your personality, your confidence level, and why UK specifically, because they will ask you a general question, why UK, and then you can reflect back on the courses selection and why UK university. So for example, UK universities offer high quality education, they give support to the students, and they are ranking in the like QS. The word ranking is very high, so that you can mention that that's why you chose to study in the UK. The second thing is that you can mention something about UK itself, like the culture, the hospitality, and everything you were thinking about when you applied. Why you want to go to the UK? You want to go to the UK to represent your country. You're from Iraq, and you know people have a bad image about our country, and then you will be able to represent Iraq in a good way. You will be able to get the people to know what is Iraq, what is an Iraqi population living, and you as an Iraqi person, you will represent and reflect the good picture or the good image that you lived in Iraq, and now you're going to tell the word or the UK word about Iraq. This is the first thing. Second thing, that you will use the networking skills. You will be going or participating in the activities in the UK. It's related to the Chevening. You will be experiencing some events related to the UK, to the Chevening itself. So you will mention that I will be participating in these events as a scholar, Chevening scholar, and as an Iraqi person, and as an Iraqi student studying there. So this is the first thing. You will be engaging yourself, even if it's like these days because of COVID-19 and the social life is a bit different than before, but you will do your best to participate and engage yourselves in the activities and the events related to the Chevening and to other events in the university you're studying, in the culture and the social places there. This is very important. And the second thing is the leadership. So you might be you might meet some other Iraqi students studying there, and meet with them and exchange with them what they experience in the UK, and then you will be able to represent or to be a leader yourself in that place. These are very important, and from my experience, they were really emphasizing on the networking skills and the leadership skills that you have, and how you are going to use them when you will be in the UK. So this is a very important thing. And you can mention also, like I want to visit the historical places in the UK, and be able to exchange with the UK participants also in the universities that you will meet them. And the most important thing is to be confident when answering these questions, because they will ask you, how did you use your networking skills? So they will know from what you answer, how are you going to use them when you're living in the UK. And at the end, be yourself. Don't be someone else, or don't pretend to be someone else, because the people who are interviewing you, they are very experienced people. And my interview was like a phone call. It wasn't even a Skype call, but they knew, and they were really impressed by the interview. So the very important thing is the image they will have in their mind about you, from the way you talk, from the way you reflect. And you need to have the application, your application, you need to study it well, and you need to learn it by heart. So whenever you are answering a question, reflect back to the application, because all the questions they will ask you, it is mentioned in your application. So make sure you study it well and you have it by heart. For me, I mean by heart, I was literally meaning this, because they read every single application and every single word that you wrote in your application, and they will ask you from it. So the best answer I answered is the example of the networking skill, how I'm using it right now in my career, and how I'm going to use it in the UK.
Thank you very much, Huda.
I think, yeah.
Thank you very much, Huda, and for contribution and for everything that you presented in this session. So we are moving to the last slide, which is a content of useful resources. Back in the past years, most of these links were not available, or even when they were available, they weren't having like so many questions, except the formal ones. So For example, on the first link, which is www.chevening.org, news, interviews, tips from Chevening and scholars. And this links, you can find tips from Chevening scholars, those who applied and got interviewed and eventually won the Chevening Scholarship. They wrote their notes, their tips, their pieces of advice, the information, and you can find all of these things in this very first link, which is a repertoire of other Chevening scholars' experience. For the second link, which is, it is the same, I think, but it is only concerned with interview. So the second link consists of information and tips, as well as pieces of advice on interview process. So it might be useful for you, as these are two Chevening Scholarship official applicants for you to make use from. The other one is scholarsmap.wordpress.com, etc., etc., and how to act in your Chevening interviews. It also contains so many information and advice from ex and current Chevening scholarship, scholars from different countries. And the other one and the last one is about the, it's also from Chevening, and it contains pieces of advice, information, and consultation for you how to complete your successful Chevening interview. So we can see from the majority of these four links, the majority of these links are concerned with the interview. So they are very useful resources that can be found for you, and you can depend on to prepare for your interview. The slides will not be sent as tips, but we can put the links on the chat box so that you can make use from. Kak Ari, can you put the links, please, in the chat box?
Salah, of course, we can share the PDF version of the presentation at the session.
All right.
So we will post it in the Telegram and in Facebook group, so you will have access to these things. And as Salah mentioned, guys, here, these links are really informative. You will get tons and tons of advices and tips on how to ace your Chevening interview. Well, in this 1 hour session, during which we dedicated like 30% of the session for a question and answer, which we will go through them in the next few minutes. So we couldn't cover every single bit or detail about Chevening interview because there are a lot of elements involved. So we would leave these 4 links for you, so you can go through them later. The golden tip here is that whenever you open either of these articles, go through the details, go through the tips, and do a self-reflection. And by self-reflection, I mean put yourself in the shoe of the one who wrote or who experienced this moment during the interview. For example, they will be talking about appearance, they will be talking about communication, about how to give brief answers, about preparation, body language, all of these details. So do a self-reflection, and this will give you the energy to go to the interview prepared with confidence, and we wish you good luck. So if there are no other comments from the facilitators, Hameed, Salah, Sawen, Huda, then we can give the floor to the audience for questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ari. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen and review the full image of the participants so we can receive questions by the participants. Should you please raise your hand so that we can introduce you one by one. So the first one who has a question is, I don't know his name, is not mentioned, but it's of triple B, BBB. Could you please forward your question? Thank you. Can you hear me?
Salah, I believe we already have a question in the chat section. If you just take a look at that.
All right, I will open the chat. Okay. So the question from BBB is the following: should we always depend on our essays to answer most of the questions. If there's anyone wants to answer this question, if not, I will do that.
Well, I would say, Salah, that it depends on the relevance of the question. So if the question is relevant to your essay, then you need to give a high portion of your answer and give reference to the examples that you already mentioned in your essay, because this is the opportunity for the reading panel to know you. You should not come with tons of new information that would shock them, because they already know you. They have did some sort of profiling for you. They know what is your goal, what is your plan, how you have achieved them, and this was the only communication between you and the interviewing panel was the essays. So the essays really matters, and always link your answers to what you have built on your essays. But there are, in some instances, they may come up with a totally irrelevant question to the essays. For example, in my case, they asked me about a role model. Who is your role model? And here, this is totally irrelevant. There is nothing from the essays about my model. Then you need to answer it, and with the details of the answer, also try to make it relevant to, for example, networking, leadership. I've been like admired by this role model because of this and this, and then you can link it to what you have, just to make a sensible answer and give it relevance. We have also another question from Rashad. Rashad says that, are we allowed to take pictures and supporting documents to show them an achievement or a benchmark or an activity that we did? Well, Rashad, I found this a bit awkward personally, because this is unusual during the interviews. You can always elaborate, describe, so give the descriptive analysis of what you have done to them using only words and verbs. You do not need to show them any hard copies, because it sounds awkward. I don't know, guys, whether you agree or disagree with me on this point.
Well, I don't think they will ask for like some papers or evidence for your speech. They never ask for it.
Well, there's only one case, which is apparently is not so close to the question, which is sometimes when you fail to upload your, this support letters, they give you a chance to bring the support letters as a hard copy to the interview, which is, I'm not sure if it's directly related to this question, but for anything else, you don't really need to provide any pictures or any kind of, papers or something. It's only in that case.
Thank you so much. And there's also a question before Rashad's question, which was from Sarah, which is, can we talk about changing universities during the interview stage? And will it affect our application? And is it risky? Apparently, these are three questions in one question. So my answer to that is that it's not about being risky or not, but when you change a university, you should have a solid and a strong reason. Why would you like to change your university? Otherwise, you don't have to change your university if you have offer from it. And the other matter is that you don't ask them that would you like to change your university. Instead, the panelists will ask you this question, and whether would you like to change one of your options or not. And if you say yes, you must provide them with a very strong and solid reason. You can't easily tell them that you haven't got any offer from that university. This will not be a valid. This is not deemed as a valid reason. Instead, you can show them a strong case or strong reason for your beyond your wish to change your one of the choices in your applications. If the others have any addition to this question, please go ahead.
No, well, absolutely right. I mean, you are right, Salah. There should be a very strong and valid reason to change the courses during the interview. They would already give you this opportunity, the interviewing panel. But you need to bear in mind that the change that you are proposing should be needed, not as per your reference. You are preferring to study another course. It should be needed. There should be like some sort of technical issues. Problem with the university. I'm guessing admission issues, for example. It should be needed, should be required. There is another question from Ahmed Hadi. Ahmed Hadi says that Like having a conditional or unconditional offer influence the outcome of the interview? Well, basically not, because this is not the area where they assess the applicants for. They will assess your performance, only performance during the interview. Having a conditional offer or not, or even not applying for the university will not influence the decision of the panel.
Also, I would like to add to Ari's answer in order to assure the applicants that when I got accepted finally after the interview, I wasn't having neither unconditional offer, no Ielts or TOEFL or anything. I just uploaded them. I just took them and uploaded them after hearing the final decision from Chevening Scholarship. So do not worry if you don't have unconditional offer or language test certificate during the interview. Thank you very much. Hameed,
Let me just add something very tiny. Sometimes people text me because like even before like this shortlisted duration, sometimes they text me and say, okay, I had IELTS, I uploaded it, and I had offers, conditional or unconditional offers, and I uploaded in the portal, but I'm still got rejected and I'm not shortlisted, which is a good evidence that they don't really care about these things before, and it's just something that has deadlines. It's not something that makes your portal more strong. It's just something that you should have before the deadline, if that does make sense.
Yeah, you're right, Sawen. Thank you so much. This is the same case that happened to me back in 2018. As for me, I applied for 4 times, and most of my colleagues know about that. So back in 2018, I applied for Chevening Scholarship, and I had everything, unconditional offers and 3 unconditional offers and IELTS even before the interview, but that didn't help me to get the scholarship in the end. Thank you.
The other question from Sarah, she's talking about examples more than those who mentioned in the essays. Basically, they only ask about those you mentioned in the essays, but you need to provide more details, like tell the story, how you started the networking, tell facts like the places, the time, how you managed to, for example, make a network with someone. So you have to be very specific and detailed. But you have to be ready. They may ask like one more question if they are not happy with the examples you already provided. They may ask for another example.
Thank you, Hameed.
There is a question from Ban. Ban says that I have been rejected from my first choice university. Should I inform the panel that I will opt to the second and third option, or this will affect my final result? Well, Ban, I encourage you to be truthful with the panel. Inform them that although you have already planned to study the first course, but this is no longer a valid option for you, and now you are opting for the second option. And this was your backup, and it is, for example, relevant to the first one, and you still can achieve your study in the UK plans and also your career plans if you get admission to the second or the third one. So use this as a backup plan, inform them, be truthful, and I don't think it will influence their decision.
My advice is just don't mention it, just because they will not ask you. They may ask you, do you have like offers? Just tell them, yes, I have from the second and third one. And don't mention that you got rejected from the first one. So it's okay.
Thank you very much. Please don't repeat your questions, as we will be taking them all one by one. So there was a question that's repeated. Hello, will IELTS test be required for the year? Chevening Scholarship does not require IELTS this year, nor any other language test certificate. Instead, your universities still require that, whether IELTS, TOEFL, or any other kind of test will be required by the university. But the Chevening Scholarship itself does not require any kind of English language test. Thank you so much. And there is a question from Fatima Shakarchi. Thank you for your session. Can I upload my proof of graduation as a postgraduate document? Because I haven't received my transcripts or degree yet. Fatima, to answer this question, postgraduate means a master's degree or PhD. So if you are not a master's degree or PhD, you cannot upload your undergraduate transcript or certificate under the section of postgraduate. But I understood your question. You can still, in Iraq, we have either transcripts, which is a formal paper of degrees, or certificate, which is the certificate of graduation without any degrees. If you have either of them, you can upload them under the graduation, under the undergraduate section. And thank you so much.
I'm sorry if I'm opening the mic without a prior notice.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Is that okay? Yeah.
What?
I'm sorry if I'm opening the mic without a prior notice. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
Okay. But when you please mute yourself.
Yes, of course. So I only have my proof of graduation that mentions my graduation average and my rank among my class. So is that okay? Would that be sufficient or not?
I will leave that question to be answered by others, but because I have no idea if the proof of graduation, other than transcript or certificate, is acceptable.
Can I answer this question?
Yes, please.
Is your proof of graduation like in English language?
I received it from my university. It was directed towards the Iraqi Medical Association, and I'm translating it to English today.
Medical field of specializations. I don't have.
Salah, hello.
Hello, Huda. I can hear you. Can you follow?
Yes, I believe that Fatima's case is the same as mine. I'm a graduate medical doctor, and I face the same issue with application. So basically, the Chevening or the British Council will not ask you for the graduation certificate. They will be okay with only the graduation certificate translated to English, and also they will accept the Arabic one. You just need an official translation for the graduation certificate. I mean, Ta'id al-Takharruj, if that's correct.
Yes.
You don't have the transcript in with the results and the courses. So the same as mine, I don't have my transcript yet. But the universities you're applying to will request that from you. So if you find a university that is okay with only the graduation certificate with the official translation, everything is fine for you. For Chevening, they will be fine with the graduation certificate. You don't need to worry about it, but you just need to worry about the universities. Will they accept your graduation certificate official translation to English, or they will require a transcript, an official transcript issued by the university? Because in my case, I'm still waiting for the offer due to the transcript issue. I contacted some universities, they contacted my university, and they need an evidence from them.
Yes. And will the dean's letter be sufficient or not?
Again, sorry?
Will the dean's letter be sufficient or not?
For Chevening, you don't need to worry about it. But for the universities, this is your own business. You just need to have an unconditional offer provided to Chevening by July, I think.
Okay.
By 11th of
Thank
July.
you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all the case. You just need the graduation certificate, and they will contact you for the proof that you have this degree. And also the Iraqi Medical Syndicate provide certificates that you are a medical doctor, you finished your study, and I think that you have both English and Arabic. It will be fair enough for the Chevening body, but for the universities, this is up to them. You just need to search for a university that is, they are agreeing with the graduation certificate only. And the dean's letter, I think it will be sufficient for you.
Okay. Can I email you to this email that is hudakh4@gmail for further information?
Sure. Yes, you can send me whatever questions you have, and I can also send you a few universities that I think they are fine with the graduation certificate, and I will also forward to you a few helpful tips that you can explain to them why you don't have the transcript.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, no issue. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
We are going to move to the other question, which is That's from BBB. We took a question. We will come back to that later. We will have to take other students a question. Would you please clarify if you know who will be interviewing us, professional background and occupation, so that we could expect the interest? The panelists are staff from the either UK Embassy in Baghdad or the UK General Consulate in Erbil. So, but we don't know them and personal. So we can expect anything or anyone during that interview. Thank you so much. Ari, yeah, could we move to the
question from Triple B about the transcript being authenticized by the Ministry of Higher Education or just by the college or the university? Well, everyone, whenever you want to study abroad, any foreign university, when they give you admission, they will ask for a stamped document by Ministry of Higher Education and by Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So these are the sorts of documentation required for you to be enrolled in that particular foreign university. So prior to departure, you should take original copies of your documents with the stamps from these ministries on them to give them the international escalated value. As for the other documentation questions, please, at the interview stage, do not worry about documentation, worry about your interviewing performance. They will give you enough time to get the admission from universities. The headache about graduation certificate, about degree, about the transcript, whether it should be translated or not, whether it should be authenticized by the Ministry of Higher Education, this will follow when you are applying for the university will guide you about these required documents. It's not required at the Chevening interview stage. Guys, has anyone else asked the question and prepared an answer? Because I think we are automatically having a harmonization here, which is very
well.
cool.
There is one question concerning the from Hala Al Kamusi. Do they make a phone call to our reference? Because I think one of them is not really good at English. Well, I would like to let the answer of this question to Kak Hameed, if that's possible.
I think they normally they don't call anyone. They just send a link. So the referee will upload the reference letter and that link. They don't call anyone, I think.
Yeah, thank you, Kak Hameed. Yeah, as for the past years, some of the past years, they were sending emails containing links for the referee directly to upload the reference letter. But this year, I think the applicant will have to upload the reference letters by himself or herself. So don't worry about that. I think they won't ask anyone, they won't call anyone in this regard. And other question is, any idea of interview method? Could it be on Skype from BBB? We don't know. Sometimes on Skype, on phone, on Zoom, face-to-face. That will be that will be driven by the circumstances. For last year, mostly it was held by online, like on Skype, and Baghdad by cell phone, and previously it was face-to-face. So for this year, no one knows the process. Thank you.
We have a question from Fadi.
Yeah, please.
Fadi wonders, he says that if I secure a 3 unconditional offer, can I opt to the second or the third option, or should I stick to the first one? What do you think, Salah?
Well, I think eventually you will have to provide the Chevening Scholarship with a choice that you think is the most suitable for you. Whether you like the first one or the second one or the third one, it's totally up to you. For example, when I got accepted by Chevening the last time, I got 2 unconditional offers, and I selected the one that I found most suitable for me. So when you select the university among the 3 options, which you have unconditional offer from all of them, only select the one that is most suitable for you. And by the word suitable, I mean the one that you could make the most benefit, and the one that is the one that can provide you with the best academic knowledge, and learning from that university will make you able to achieve your goals. So it's not necessarily the first or the second or the third. Choose the one that is the most appropriate for you among the three options that you have. Thank you.
I will add one point to this. I think if you have already uploaded unconditional offers, then automatically you will get the first one. But if you have not uploaded them yet, so you can just upload the one you want.
Yeah, but by the way, if I share something from my experience, because I know we already have some students who are willing to apply for next year or rejected and willing to apply again. It will be the best thing if you sort the courses exactly the way you want, because if I share my experience, I was rejected from my first choice because it was a university in London, and they said that they won't accept any undergraduate degrees from Iraq. It was Royal Holloway University of London. So I had to move on to the second one automatically, which is this university that I'm in now. But when they sent the last letter, which is the FAL, they were directly sending me to the first choice, and then I had to email them and change my program officer because they were directly sending me to the first choice, even though I was like completely rejected. I had no letter from the university, but because I was, put in this order. So just carefully choose your order, and so that you won't, face any issues.
Thank you very much for your answers, Kak Hameed, Kak Ari, Kak Huda, Sawen Khan for.
Guys, I need to go. Unfortunately, it was really nice talking to you. Salah, Hameed, Huda, and Sawen, please feel free to stay and take more questions.
Thank you very much, Ari, for joining us, and have a good day.
Good luck. Wish you good luck and best wishes. Ciao.
Thank you very much.
You too.
Goodbye. Let's take a couple of questions for 10 minutes and before finishing our session. Please, if you have questions, feel free to open the mic and ask your questions in order not to be lost in the tens of messages in the chat box.
I think Afrah has a question.
Yes. Hello. Actually, I have a question regarding the recommendation letter. My referee prefer to, or he will give me a reference letter and strongly support the second choice of the university that I put it in the application, while I prefer the first one. So eventually, is that have any affection on my application or my admission? Have you get it?
The question was not clear for me. Sorry.
I wasn't following either. I was reading one of the questions. Yeah. Could you repeat your question, please?
Yes.
In a simple and concise words.
Okay. Sorry. The reference letter, my referee will strongly support the second choice of the university that I put it in the application. While I prefer the first option, my referee prefer the second one, will support me according or based on the second option.
So what kind of
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I think she's saying that the referee will mention her universities in the reference.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to like your skills, why you are a good candidate for this scholarship. So you don't need to mention the universities.
Well, by the way, if because when you are applying to the universities as well, sometimes they ask for this kind of support letters. So for me personally, I uploaded to ask for reference letters. I send the same thing for them too. So you can just, if for your second choice and your referee really suggests you to go to the second one, you can just upload this letter in the second choice. But like when you are applying for the second option, but just tell them that if the Chevening scholar asks you to tell, like if you know me or not, you can just mention that yes or no, because I basically don't know if they ask any further question, but the most important question is that they really know you or not, because they already mentioned your skills in the letter. You can just say that you don't really need to talk about the universities. You can just say you know you or not. But in case of if the university asked you, you can say that you really want me to go to this university.
Okay, thank you so much.
If that's clear, you're welcome.
Yeah. I got a private message from one of the participants here. When we talk about an example of leadership or networking, we can choose. Can we choose any example we have mentioned, right? Or will the panel choose one of the examples and ask about? Dear participant, you can answer with whatever example you find suitable for that question. It won't be selected formally by the panelists, but in case the panelists ask you sometime for the specific one of the specific example you provided, in that case you will have to answer according to the examples. Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Another question was, will the recording be uploaded to YouTube? No, it's going to be uploaded to our Facebook group, official Facebook group for Iraqi Chevening, for the.
I think Qutayba has a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for this lovely session that we are having. I have a tiny silly question, and please excuse me. I was really busy during the last 3 months, and I couldn't apply for any of my chosen universities. Would you please just to support my mental health right now? Am I really late, or do I still have time? Thank you very much.
I wasn't following up. Will anyone be able to?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, Hameed, if you can answer.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Well, just in case, I'm a psychologist, so you should, like, you are late, but not very, very late, because you are not yet in the interview. So you can apply for that as soon as possible, and for the whole 3 options. Because we usually suggest that the applicants will apply for this university along with applying for Chevening, or right after applying, submitting the portal, because as soon as you got the answers, it will be way better for you, because sometimes during the interview they can give you a chance to make some changes in the university courses. So just in case if you were rejected through the for the whole universities, the whole 3 options, you will have the chance to once again apply for others. And if you change something during your interview, because otherwise it's locked, as you know. So it's not very, very late, but it's late. So apply for the choices as soon as possible, because usually people who are not willing to gain a scholarship, they usually ask for the universities exactly in this time. So for the universities, it's not too late, but for Chevening can be late. So just do it as soon as possible, but it's not very late, and you are not so much behind.
Thank you, Sawen.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
yes.
But one more point, I think they normally give the answer to your application after 2 weeks. So you can apply now, and you can contact the admission office of the university and tell them your situation, that you have an interview and you need sooner answer for your application. Then yeah, they will review it earlier.
Your answer is highly appreciated. May I also ask this question? So, in order for me to prepare for having a good presentation for myself to the interviewer, to the panelists, I am repeating my question, the previous one that I have wrote, which is who will be, whom is these panelists? Are they from administration department? Are they from the political departments? What are their interests? From your experience and the question that you've already participated in before, what are the main aspects they are somehow focusing on? Is it cultural? I know it includes everything, but it would be very useful for us If you just give us 2 minutes clarifications on what they really look for while interviewing us. Thank you. And yeah.
Qutaiba, for that question, we have already spoken in the beginning of the session. Yes, but this cannot be answered simply because you have to provide the best of you. So it's not about being cultural or political or anything. Just to be yourself and provide the true answers to the questions, and hopefully you will get your scholarship. Thank you very much for the question. And there was another private message from Safa Sadiq. Hello, apologies for being mute. As per email I received from Chevening, they mentioned that I have to insert scholar biography by April and that it's mandatory to do so. I checked the Chevening portal site and couldn't find any section made for scholar biography. Can you guys elaborate on this? Thanks. As for me, I don't have any idea this year's application website because I don't have username for that. So maybe there is a technical glitch or something like that, but you will have to ask the current scholars in order to get your answer.
Yeah, we have the biography like in our year. It's like a simple 2 lines. You will just describe yourself, your goal, like in 2 lines, and just upload it because that biography is for the Chevening orientation, if there will be an orientation. So they will put your picture and your biography under your picture. That's only for that. So
that's why me, Salah and I, we didn't know the answer because we didn't have any kind of welcoming event.
Yeah.
That's why, for us.
Sorry for you guys.
Yes. Yeah. There is some other applicants are reporting technical issue with the Chevening website in which they are not able to upload any of the scholars biography yet. So be patient and try to contact the Chevening website team so that they can sort it out for you. Thank you so much. There's another question from BBB. I still did not apply to any university yet. Why? What are you waiting for? You should start applying from the very beginning. The sooner the better for you. From Fatima Shakarchi, which universities typically reply as fast as to whether you are accepted or not? Well, this totally is up to the university itself and to the field of specialization itself. For example, the Queen Mary University of London, at which I'm studying right now, I know people applied to the same university, but other fields of specialization, and they got their reply far sooner than I got mine. So it's up to the university itself. Thank you. One more question is from Hala Al-Kamusi. I applied for 3 universities a month ago. I got 1 rejection and no answers from the others. Can you recommend universities who accept low GPA? Sorry, we cannot recommend any universities because
I will provide an advice for Hala. So you can call the admission office. There's like, you check the website of the university you have applied and you have not gotten the answer yet, and ask them for why the review is late and tell them your situation. I think they will review it sooner. And for changing the university, you cannot just because you have already chosen 3 universities. If you change it, then you have to elaborate in the interview why you are changing. So if you told them because I got a rejection, I think it will weaken your application. But try to contact the admission office of the universities you have applied to, and I think they will be helpful.
Thank you, Kak Hameed. There was a question from Fatima Shakarchi concerning Ielts Indicator. She said that she got her Ielts Indicator this January, but will that be sufficient, or should I retake the paper? Fatima, it's according to the university whether they accept Ielts Indicator or not. Apparently, Chevening doesn't want any English language test certificate, but the other concern is that your universities, whether they accept the Ielts Indicator or not, and whether if they accept Ielts Indicator, is that within the grade that you got? If you got the grade within the university requirements and that university accepts the Ielts Indicator, apparently you will not need to retake that exam again. So just check up with your university and find out what is the test that it's accepted by the university itself. Thank you so much. Afrah Ahmed, do you recommend providing same examples of the application? I couldn't understand your question. Do you mean if you apply again to Chevening Scholarship?
I think she means the networking and leadership examples.
If it is during interview, it's fine. You will give one of the examples from the essay itself, or another external example. As long as that example is good to be presented, and you feel that it's enough and that presents you very well, choose the most suitable example to provide, whether it's from your essay or not, but preferably one from essay, one from out of the essay. That's fine.
Salah, just adding something for that.
Yes, please.
Like personally, when I was writing my essays, I have lots of very good and strong example I really wanted to share, but I couldn't because it's apparently 500 words. So I just saved some of the very strong, like I thought that these are very strong examples, and I mentioned one or two during the interview that I really wanted to include in the essay as well. So I had like two different examples, which I thought both of them are, very strong. So it's somehow dependent on yourself. Or you can you can talk about two examples, one that you already written in your essays, and another one that you really feel like it's so strong.
Yeah, thank you, Sawen. There's another question from Fatma Shakarchi. If I were to take the IELTS paper-based exam, should it be UKVI or a regular one? As long as the IELTS you take is academic, it doesn't matter whether it's a UKVI or regular. The most important thing is that your IELTS is the academic, and the academic is accepted in both UKVI and the regular one. So make sure that you take the academic IELTS academic test, whether it is a UKVI test or a regular one test. Again, I repeat myself, as long as it is academic, it is fine. Thank you so much. Question in a private came from Mu'min. I was invited to the interview in previous years and I was conditionally selected. Is it fine to talk about the same examples that I talked about in the first place? It's up to you. If you applied to the same field of specializations and if you feel that these examples are good, but it's fine. But if you have any updated examples and you feel they are better than the past examples, it's better to provide them with the most updated examples. And let's see if Kak Hameed or Sawen Khan have any other ideas about that question. About that.
I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, this one I know he was an old Chevening applicant, and he got he took the he won the Chevening Scholarship, but he wasn't able to secure the English language test. So unfortunately, he couldn't make it to the final stages. So as I told you before, Kak Momin, choose the most appropriate example that describes yourself and describe your aims and goals. Thank you so much. Is there any further questions?
Even if it's just like a tiny change, but you feel like you just learned from your previous experience, you can change a very tiny thing, but as much as you feel like it will make your application stronger.
Very good, Sawen. This is a very good note. Thank you. I missed it really. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Is there any other question? Apparently, we don't have any questions. So is there any other note from Kak Hameed or Sawen Khan to the applicants?
I will add like some 3 points. For the interview, just be detailed. And for example, I want to, I don't know, my voice is reflecting. Can you mute yourself, Kak Salah?
No, it's not me. It's the other one with iPhone. Yeah, I muted him. Okay, go ahead, please. So, sorry.
Yeah. For example, why to study in the UK? Don't only mention the rank of the universities and those things. My voice. iPhone is, can you mute yourself, please? Can you mute yourself, please?
Sorry, Salah.
iPhone, can you mute yourself, please?
Can you mute yourself, please?
And then we will open the mic for you to ask your question. Yeah, I can hear you, but could you mute yourself, please, for a second?
For a second.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Don't only mention like the rank of the universities and the education there, because Chevening is not taking you there only to study. They want you to engage with the UK people and with the society, with the community. So mention like do a research about the cities you have chosen, and try to get some facts about those cities. For example, me, I went to Newcastle universities, and while I was researching, I found that like 1 out of 7 people living in Newcastle is a student, a foreign student. So try to find some facts like that and try to mention them in the interview while you are talking about why to study in the UK. Just don't only mention the universities, because they don't want people who are just coming there to spend all the time studying. They want you to engage with the community there. And practice a lot, like try to reflect yourself. Make questions for yourself and try to answer them in your mind, like make answers and prepare very well, like practice and practice, it will make it perfect. Yeah, that's it, Kak Salah.
Thank you very much, Kak Hameed. The floor is for Sawen Khan if she has any other tips for the applicants.
Yeah, thank you so much, Salah.
Yeah.
Well, what you already mentioned is, I believe it's more than sufficient for people who really wants to gain this scholarship. And I repeat that it does really worth trying for it, because it's really fun. Salah knows, even with the lockdown and everything that happens here, like the thing is really, really fun. And you are so insured in many ways. For instance, you should not be worried about money. You will just like spend this time of yours in fully, and you will learn lots of things along with your studies. And there are lots of places that you can go to along with your studies. But I should mention the fact that being a full-time master's student is really, really, really hard. And it does really needs these exceptional students that Chevening wants, because it's like loads and loads of works, and you have to work a lot and you have to study a lot, and along with going out. So in our case, it's a bit positive that there's a lockdown, so that the only thing that we have to do is studying. Yeah, I'm so positive lately.
I bet.
Yeah, if I just, I don't know, the experience we had with the interview was somehow a bit stressful, because it was the lockdown and we had to do it through Skype. And we were all worried if it will be like a blackout or our connection issues will happen. And everything hopefully went and will go very well. When you come with Chevening, it is something that it's like the more it's useful for yourself, it will be so useful for the community itself, and you have to appreciate the community itself, and you have to work for them again when you will be back to your country and when you are here as well. I remember during my interview, they asked me some questions about what else I really want to know apart from my study, and I mentioned some things that I was just hoping to learn here. But when I came here, I saw that exactly the university is working, aside from studying and from teaching, they are working from lots and lots of fields and different different fields to teach you how to love and how to appreciate humanity and how to work for equality and justice. So the more you try to gain this you know, scholarship, the more it will be way better for yourself, and it's really rewarding. It's really good feeling, and hopefully we will be able to, like I just mentioned the fact that we didn't have the chance to celebrate the welcoming event, but hopefully we will be celebrating the going back event, and hopefully we'll see you one day, who are all of you gained the scholarship and are here, and will change something, and will fill all of the gaps, even if it's a tiny gap we have in Iraq and Kurdistan region. You can change something in Kurdistan region, because you are hopefully the future leaders. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope it was like a good session for you.
Thank you so much, Sawen Khan. And I will leave the floor for iPhone user. He has a question, I think. Could you please unmute yourself and proceed with your question? Thank you.
Yeah. Salah, do you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you loud and clear.
Okay, hello guys, how are you
Hello.
doing?
Thank you.
Thank you, greetings from Rania. Actually, I have already talked with Sawen Khan. I have a question, Salah. We are 7 guys, we are 7 students graduate from English department. All of them from Saladin University. We all applied for Chevening University together. But the fact that we all has the same problem, which we reject our application, Chevening reject our application. One of my friends told me, which Sawen Khan already, she gave me a clue. One of my friends told me, I think Chevening has a problem with the subject. For example, we graduate from English department and we applied for TESOL, for master degree TESOL. This is a problem?
No, it's not a problem, because I myself, I'm studying currently English language and linguistics with the field of specializations on sociolinguistics, pathway, and dialectology. So there is no problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even she gave me, crucial information about the applied. I had 3 unconditional letter from 3 different universities, and also I upload my transcripts from Canada. I have a strong application, but what's can you give me a clue for next year to apply to just arrange a better application? Do you think it's only depends on essay? That's all. I mean, from the first essay to the last essay, we should create a link, a strong link, and for example, networking and leadership. Should the natural networking and leadership increase in the applicants?
Actually, you should, when you apply to the Chevening Scholarship, you should find the UK priority in your country. For example, just Google UK priority in Iraq for 2022 or 2021 or 2023, whatever year you are applying to. And you will have to dig Google to extract some information about that priority and whether the aims of yours and the goals that you have during your application go along with these priorities of the UK. But there's no preference. UK doesn't have any preference for any field of specializations and doesn't prefer one and neglects the other. It's only priorities, and you will have to work how to match your goals and aims with these priorities of the United Kingdom. So thank you so much, and wish you all the best.
Yeah, if I just add something, Salah. Well,
yeah, please.
I always say that it doesn't, like, as you said, sometimes there are priorities given to a particular field, but it doesn't mean that the other fields will be rejected. Definitely no, but like it's so you basically find a gap in your country. Even sometimes I was thinking about okay, why I wouldn't do my master's here in Kurdistan, like while I was in Kurdistan, why I wouldn't do the master's here and I should go to UK to do it. Well, I knew some gaps, and I knew that if I would do my master's there, I wouldn't be able to fill the gap. So I mentioned the gap during the interview and in the essays as well. I was mentioning the gaps. So we have this and that gap. We already have masters here, but the masters are in this and that, and we have this gap, these kinds of gaps that the masters cannot be helpful. So I need to go there and learn this and come back and fill this gap. So that's the thing. It doesn't mean which field and I already mentioned the fact that it doesn't mean how many unconditional or conditional offers you have, or if you have IELTS or not. It's just something, it's the requirement, and it has a specific deadline. But what makes your application really strong is the essays. How would you wrote your essays, and what are the dreams? How these dreams and goals you have are flexible and can be useful to fill your own gap. So yeah, it's completely not related to the field.
Gotcha. Sawen Khan, thank you. كاك صلاح زور سباس.
You're welcome.
بخير بيتك.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much, everyone. And for the last question that we should answer from Fatma Shakarchi, who said, thank you loads for the session. Could you guys share your contact info so we can ask you if we have any inquiries? Fatma, if you have any inquiries, please kindly contact us through the Facebook group that I shared its location, its link on the chat. And you are welcome to post any question that you have, and we will answer you accordingly so that everyone can make use of the questions and answers when they are public to the other users. Thank you so much. My last words for you, Chevening applicants. I'm sorry in the beginning I wasn't able to introduce myself. I just wanted to go deep into the session, and I forgot to congratulate you at the beginning. My name is Salah, and I'm from the Kurdistan region of Iraq. I'm studying master's degree on linguistics at the Queen Mary University of London with this field of specialization of the sociolinguistics pathway on the English dialectology. Congratulations for reaching this far of Chevening Scholarship, being selected among thousands of applicants. Means that you have only reached the past, which is the most important past, because half of the Chevening Scholarship, because reaching interview and being selected for the interview is a very important moment. I look forward to receiving all or most of you next September or October in the UK. Thank you very much. Be true to yourself, be true to your answers. Do prepare very well before the interview, dress well, and don't be talkative, as Ari said earlier, but be detailful and give more details. And I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and bye-bye.
Best of luck. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello. Bye-bye.